Hello, I'm Math 1052 students. I'm going to do a video lesson now on break-even analysis. This is from question 12 of the Unit 3 review, which is posted on FOL in the Week 10 module. Okay, so let's take this. So a nursery sells a bouquet of roses for $14 each. The variable costs are $850 per bouquet, and fixed costs per week are $2,700. So part A of the question, there are three parts. Calculate the break-even bouquets to be sold per week. All right, so it's a per week monitoring period then. Okay, so first we get the break-even equation, which we discussed in class. So that's selling price multiplied by the volume, the break-even volume that is, equals fixed cost, total fixed costs, plus variable cost per unit multiplied by X, or the break-even volume. Okay, so let's look at this question. Now, let's look at the givens first of all. So givens, the bouquet of roses are sold for $14 each. So that's the selling price, or S, $14. Variable costs per bouquet is $850. Okay, VC is $850. Fixed costs are $2,700. Okay, so for part A, all we need to do is plug in and solve for X. Plug in the S, the VC, and the F at the appropriate spots. So that's 14X equals, so S plugs in there. FC plugs in at the FC spot, 2,700. VC plugs in at the VC spot, so that's plus 850X. And then simply solve for X using algebra. Okay, so I put all the x's to one side and all the constants to the other side. So that means this one goes here, but it becomes a negative 8.5x when it goes to the other side of the equation. So that's 14x minus 8.5x equals 2,700. Right, and I simplify this. 14x minus 8.5x, that'll be 5.5x equals 2,700. Then I divide both sides by 5.5 in order to isolate the x, which is the break-even volume. It cancels out. Use the calculator. Okay. 2,700 divided by 5.5 equals 490.90. That's the break-even volume, right? But I need to round it, and the rule is you always round up the break-even volume, not round down. So it can't be. I've got to round this up anyway, right? So it rounds up to 491. That is the break-even volume. Okay, that's the answer to part A. Now part B asks what is the net income in a week in which 900 bouquets are sold. Okay, so I'm going to get a new scratch paper here. All right, let's solve that. All right, now we get the net income equation. So that's net income equals total revenue minus total cost, right? Okay, so we know that total cost equals the selling price multiplied by the volume, the sales volume. And you subtract from that total cost, which is fixed cost plus variable cost multiplied by the production volume. Okay, so that's the net income equation. So what is the net income in a week in which 900 bouquets are sold? Okay, So S remains the same from the previous slide. Look at the previous. So the S, the VC, and the F remains the same. 14 VC equals 850. FC, fixed cost, that's still 2,700. Okay. But we're given the sales and production volume of 900 bouquets are sold from that week. So X will equal 900. Okay, so now I simply plug all these values in to the net income formula. Right, S plugs in up here, so it's in net income, and we're asking for net income, right? The question's asking for net income. The S plugs in there. The X plugs in where X is, so that's 900, minus fixed costs, same fixed costs as part A, 2,700, plus 850, that's the variable cost per unit, and X will be also 900, multiplied by 900. Okay, then I simply simplify. Put a calculator, 14 times 900 equals 12,600 minus 2,700 plus, then I get 850 times 900, so that will equal 7,650. Okay, now I can add 2,700 to that, plus 2,700. Okay, so that will be minus 10,350. Okay, bring down the 12,600 here. Okay, so I simply do that, 12,600 minus 10,350, and I get a net income of $2,250. Okay, that's the answer to part B. Right, now part C asks us to calculate the number of bouquets to be sold to earn a profit of $1,000 per week. Okay, let's get our scratch paper here. Okay, so I still get the same net income formula, so that will be SX minus FC plus VCX. Okay, so I get the same. S, VC, and FC numbers, right? But this time I've been given the profit or the net income of 1,000. When it says profit, that means it's asking for the net income. So I plug in that 1,000 up here. Okay, well, I'm just going to write it down. So net income is given at 1,000. We've got the same S, VC, and FC. That's all the same. So that's 14, 850, and 2,700. And all I've got to do is plug in. And now I'm solving for X, which is the number of bouquets I need to produce in order to make exactly this net income. So I plug in the 1,000 at the NI spot, the S at the S spot, 14X minus FC, 2,700, plus 850X. Right? Remember this is a minus here. Okay, then I just simply solve for X. Okay, so 1,000 equals 14X, and there's a negative 1 here, right? That's an implied negative 1, so I have to multiply 2,700 by negative 1, negative 2,700, and 8.5x also by negative 1, so it'll be negative 8.5x. Okay, so I'll put I can put the constants to one side and leave the variable terms to the other side. Gotta move this over here. So that'll be 1,000 plus 2,700 equals 14x minus 8.5x. Okay, 8.5x. Okay, so that will be 3,700 equals, this will be 5.5x. To isolate x, I divide both sides by 5.5. This cancels out, isolating x. Okay, I'll do the math here. 3,700 divided by 5.5 equals x equals 672.7272. Okay, so the x will equal, round up, that's the rule. 673 is the volume I need to achieve in order to get exactly $1,000 in net income. So 6,073 bouquets. Okay, right, right. Okay, very good. Just one note over here. So break-even volume in the first thing. Do put bouquets as well, just to make sure you put the units. Okay, this is the break-even volume part A. Okay, thank you. So that's break-even volume video lesson.